The beginning of Islam in 10 minutes. All right, let's take a journey back in time to a faraway place many centuries ago. The city of Mecca in Arabia around the year 570 CE. Mecca was important for two reasons. First, it was home to the Kaaba, a sacred sanctuary originally built for the worship of the one God. Second, it was the birthplace of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. But here's a problem. I cannot show you a picture of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. In Islam, it is not allowed to depict him. Why? I'll explain later. For now, look at how his name is written in Arabic. Muhammad. Beautiful, isn't it? At that time, Makkah was almost lawless. Survival depended on how powerful your tribe was. Wealthy clans controlled everything. Religion offered little guidance because the Kaaba was filled with 360 idols and people worshipped them. Growing up in such a society was difficult, especially if you were a poor orphan who believed in an unseen God, like the Jews and Christians did. Muhammad, peace be upon him, called him Allah, which means the one creator. His father died before he was born and his mother passed away when he was just 6. His grandfather, Abdul Muttalib, raised him until his death, after which his uncle Abu Talib cared for him. Abu Talib was a respected leader in Makkah, which offered Muhammad, peace be upon him, some protection. As a child, he worked as a shepherd. Later, he became a merchant. While working for a wealthy widow named Khadija, his honesty and skills impressed her and she married him. It seemed Muhammad, peace be upon him's life was now on the rise. But what would unfold next was beyond imagination. Every year during the month of Ramadan, grand festivals were held around the Kaaba. People sacrificed animals to the idols. Muhammad, peace be upon him, disliked these practices. He often withdrew from the city, spending time alone in a cave on Mount Hira. One night, while he was in deep worship inside the cave, the angel Jibril appeared. "Read," the angel commanded. But Muhammad, peace be upon him, could not read. There were no schools back then. The angel repeated again and again. Then he embraced Muhammad, peace be upon him, tightly, and miraculously, Muhammad, peace be upon him, memorized the words revealed to him. He recited them. "Read in the name of your Lord who created man from a clot of blood. Read, and your Lord is most generous, who taught by the pen, taught man what he knew not." Surah Al-Alaq 1-5. This was the very first revelation from Allah, direct communication from the Creator, just as he spoke to prophets of Judaism and Christianity. Now Muhammad, peace be upon him, was a prophet himself. More revelations followed. Muhammad, peace be upon him, recited them, and his companions wrote them down. Eventually, these revelations were compiled into the Quran, the word meaning recitation. Thus began the message of Islam, first to his family, then to his friends, and soon to everyone. Allah is one, idolatry must end, justice must prevail in society. But the Quraysh leaders hated this message. They wanted power for themselves, not for Allah. Muslims began facing severe persecution. Some migrated to Abyssinia, modern-day Ethiopia, but most were trapped in Makkah. In those years, the Prophet, peace be upon him, lost two of his greatest supporters, his wife Khadija and his uncle Abu Talib. He was heartbroken. One night while praying at the Kaaba, the angel Jibril returned. He brought the Prophet, peace be upon him, a miraculous creature with wings called Barak. It carried him from Makkah to Jerusalem, where he led all the previous prophets in prayer. Then he was taken through the heavens, up to paradise in the journey known as Al-Isra wal Miraj. There he met Allah, and the 5 daily prayers were made obligatory for Muslims. Despite growing persecution, a new opportunity came. People from the city of Yathrib, later named Medina, invited the Prophet, peace be upon him, and the Muslims to live among them. Slowly, Muslims began migrating. When the Prophet, peace be upon him, and his companion Abu Bakr set out, the Quraysh plotted to kill him. They hid in a cave, but by Allah's power, a spider spun its web and birds nested at the entrance. Their enemies thought no one could be inside, and the Prophet, peace be upon him, was saved. In Medina, Muslims grew stronger. 3 major battles took place against the Quraysh. First, the Battle of Badr, 313 Muslims against 1,000 enemies. By Allah's help, the Muslims achieved victory. Second, the Battle of Uhud. Due to mistakes by some companions, the Muslims retreated. Third, the Battle of the Trench. Muslims dug trenches around the city, and with a storm sent by Allah, the enemies fled in defeat. Eventually, a peace treaty was made at Hudaybiyah, but when the Quraysh broke it, the Prophet, peace be upon him, marched towards Makkah with 10,000 companions. The people of Makkah surrendered without resistance. The Prophet, peace be upon him, took no revenge. Instead, he entered the Kaaba and destroyed every idol, purifying it once again for the worship of Allah alone. And no, I will not show you a picture of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. Muslims never depict Allah or his prophets because worship belongs only to Allah. Depictions may lead people to mistake a prophet as divine, and Allah cannot be seen nor imagined. This is how Islam began in just 10 minutes. So how was that? If you enjoyed this video,